John and QT step in. No one to trade there for Ara, but yet it's Narrate with the Sheriff to step up. Cloud, you think will be dug out of this corner in a few moments. Economically, this is massive for Sentinels. A very cheap bonus with 3 slingers in play. And we're going to have a full retake on the B side.
Just a 5-on-5 full retake. Zekin gets a lot of distance with the fast lane up coming out of Blink there.
It's a backbreaker for GX.
And Grubino just steps into the open to try and find the kill onto him, not expecting that a player would be right there. I mean, Bang gets an absolute free one on account of it. John out of his seat.
As you should be.
Yeah, what a round to win. Inflection point in this map. Yep. Honestly, this is where Sen might be able to just run away with the rest of the game.
And it's honestly an uncanny amount of these stinger bonuses we've seen Sentinels be successful on, even domestically. But able to have a proof of concept here at an international, gonna feel good for them. Again, they want that mid control here, but they're being pinged out. It's actually Garbino spotted by the horns. And an easy pickup for Zekin through all this smoke.
All the GX players, but just Sheriffs are caught in the corner. What on earth is that? Come on, man. That's not how the game is supposed to be played.
Give me that white ripper PvP,
That's not
bro.
how the game is supposed to be played, bro.
Baby. Oh, my goodness. Tough round, of course, for GX to walk into. Knew they'd be unfavored economically.
This isn't what I thought the game would be when I was playing the
What happened to the game, I love?
That was devious.
But what is to stop
activity from Zekin?
What is to stop GX though from scouting out this early movement? Because they are thrusting down mid, right? In theory, you could spray them down. You've got a double controller composition of your own, ping them out with your, with Fade Initiator. Surely that's an option here to answer this like early push-up.
Really, outside of a couple of those early fight rounds from GX, mid has belonged to Sen this entire game.
Kings of mid, as we call them in NA right now.
Mid is so critical on Corrode that is just going to continue to give them the upper hand throughout.
The joke, Rob Moore, please don't tweet at me. Obviously not the ending to stage they would have liked. And everyone expecting them to step up here. So far, not so shabby. The mid control, again, that GX does not contest in the early part of the round. They're really only interested in the extremities. So Zekin's gotten pretty deep.
Rotate now from GX over towards this A side. Have to pay attention to Aura, of course, with that dimensional drift. Can collect all of the info towards A. And if Cloud gets just one orb, we'll have the Nightfall as well. And he has the spike right now, so maybe we'll see a scenario where this dimensional drift allows them to get the plant down, and then they can Nightfall to win out in the post plant.
Ara in shot there, concealing surely a massive chin. Very chiseled. And beginning with the dimensional drift, and now sees the Nightfall come out. Cloud caught out of that timing. Looks like Ara's going to commit to the site, and is sent packing by Bang, who'll happily occupy this pocket position and play off second where it even needed. Another 3-piece for the young gun. Another flawless for Sentinels and 2 rounds away from a map take.
This control of mid is, again, just so influential. The pace that Zekin is able to just get right over into this A site and fight off that Nightfall, catches one. Look at the teleport from Bang. That's insane, the adjustment. I mean, we rightly so talked a lot about how good Westside was anchoring. Bang is also on the anchor, one of the absolute best.
And it looks like the cue there for Sentinels is the dimensional drift that comes in from Ara. They know he's close by, and they just windmill slam that Nightfall onto the attackers, catch them out. Timeout here for GX. They've not had any control this half. They've not won any rounds, of course. It started with their loss in the pistol, and then a very unlikely loss in their first gun round against the triple stinger Bulldog Sheriff by. They need to stabilize, they need to settle. It's moments like this that really put teams in international debuts to the test.
Down by 5 rounds. Every single player on Sen effectively money capped right now. They have ultimates to play with. The game is within Sen's hands to take. This first map, their pick of Corrode.
Coach Pipson just trying to re-establish what the parameters should be for this GX attack side. And maybe, at some point, they've returned to trying to fight for mid a little bit. But they tried it once so far this half, and it caused Grubino to get pinged out by a Horde and picked off instantly.
To be fair, that one time, that was just a buy where they had some lower weaponry, but they're just ignoring mid entirely again. They just want to hit this B site with the ultimates, it seems.
Okay.
Maybe some kind of cheeky Grabinho teleport behind with the Nightfall to cut off the audio.
Look, we've seen Ara get into that B site with a gate crash. There's been a TP forward. They can at least get their Omen and Yoru past that layer of stall util that we're seeing from John here. And you're right, Wyatt, you called it. Nightfall comes on in. They want to fight for this here. Razorvine already popped out on the side. Zekin is there already. And he has got an overdrive to work with. Straight through the pit he goes. He's ready to throw down. Spots that Grabinho. It's electrifying from Zekin. High voltage warning should be on the label for this guy. Not quite the ace, but still, well, it's a show-stopping performance.
Bang cleans this up. 12 rounds for SEN, 1 away from the win. Again, it is just the pace that Zekin is coming into these sites to assist the team anchoring. These straight-up hits from GX
20
are
kills.
getting absolutely stomped into the ground because the anchors are arriving on time. What a, oh, that was hot. Very cool as well. Zekin gets in, gets that first. I mean, this is beautiful play, but again, it's this lack of any control of mid that is allowing SEN to just rotate so fast, flood in, support their anchors.
3 big ultimates up in that round for Sentinels, right? They've been sitting on those for quite a while. They've been getting a lot of kills, having a lot of success on this defense side. Far cry from what we've seen domestically from them. Looks like they've tightened the screws a little bit here. Horn does ping out Grabinho. Those stuck inside that corner. Aura's already gone down, and Zekin tries for a flamboyant slide across mid. Sentinels encouraged here to slow the pace down a little. Finally, they've given some mid control over.
And why not go for that if you're Zekin?
Here.
At this point, he's feeling himself.
Yeah, just a little bit of confidence. Flickless, unfortunately, peaks into 2 SEN players who've taken full A main control.
Oh, God!
Spike down A.
Well, Cloud gets onto A. Unfortunately, it's in a body bag and narrates. Slots in 4 to kick off Sentinel's campaign here in Paris. And a slow start, conservative. Looks like they really wanted to get their bearings early on Corrode, and then a perfect defense side to lock up the first map, 13-6.
That is an energizing open for the SEN City, who last we saw took a pretty tough loss in that lower bracket in Americas. They're bouncing right back.
Oh, gotta watch out there. It's a pretty NA biased test, but we're gonna go over and see what Yinsu and our experts have to say to break down this first map.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it. Listen, in line of me going to the other side and that huddle, I think we're winning the game. This guy's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. I actually can't.
Jordan's just on Giant X, and I'm like, wow.
Hey, we're going on Reddit one way or another. Don't care.
Esports World Cup, where we are starting off with Valorant.
If you want to win, you have to win against the best.
So looking for revenge.
There's the shorty, and Alpha goes crazy.
They've all battled through the pressure and expectation. Heretics have come back all the way. Finally, we won. Finally.
Red Bull gives you wings.
here standing with Kaplan from Sentinels. Now, I know you guys didn't exactly end Stage 2 in NA the way you wanted to, but now we're feeling this renewed energy from Sentinels. Is it a new story here, and are they feeling all that energy because this is a global, this is a fresh new start for them?
Plenty of it is thanks to a global, thanks to champs. We're pumped, but it's also deliberate from the guys. You know, we walked away realizing our energy is a problem. We can be incredible if we choose to be, and they're choosing to be today.
And Hubert looking very healthy, very happy so far.
Yeah, I think he's lost a little weight. I might have to feed him some baguette. You know, gets a little hungry, but we'll see.
We'll see. To be continued. All right, thanks, Cap.
Thank you.
It's so nice to see Kaplan smile, but also welcome Cuba to the desk. How are we doing, Cuba?
I'm scared I'm going to knock him over and he'll have a tragic
Cuba, you want to
fall,
say
so.
anything?
Yeah.
No.
Based.
Put on the mic?
Not a man of many words.
No? Yeah, I mean, he's just sitting there and looking pretty. It works. That's
He
his
does.
shtick.
I love the little Cuba. Mini Cuba is very, very cute. I also love the way the Sentinels were playing on Corrode. And speaking of, it's time for our Verizon high-speed moment. This one goes to John QT on the pistol round. I mean, this should have been, GX should have managed to close it out in a 5v3, surely.
Yeah, and this is coming in at a 6-6F. It was close, and then John QT does this in a 5v3. They're down numbers after losing those early members, and he just crushes them. Like,
And I think we often talk about how pivotal pistols are in halves, given that we play MR12. Like, this is a nightmare. Start for GX to go that way in that pistol, and then obviously things continue to go off for them. Bang.
What a smoke.
Yeah, the smoke was perfect. It was essentially unwinnable for Westside there. I don't know how we could have played that any differently.
Honestly, after that 3K, I think everything Sen did in the rest of that round was perfect. You know, there's no fault. And I almost feel like I love his angle. Oh, he's so cute. I love Cuba.
the voices are telling me to punch him right now.
No, he's been through enough. He's just a little guy. He's been through enough. Leave him alone.
I didn't say I was going to do it.
Leave him alone.
I won't let this man hurt you.
Good.
I won't let this man hurt you.
Good, because I think you have to go through Doug and apparently Zekken if you want to get to Sen. Because
I'm not going to mess with Zekken.
No, and Doug, I don't think any of the GX players were messing with Zekken either, really.
No, and I will say this, Ara held up to him at the very beginning. I think he looked great, he looked competitive, but there were just so many situations where Zekken should not have been converting some of the multi-kills that he had. You think about the Visalt mid in the first half where he walks away with 2-3 kills with the Classic, and then you think about all the ult kills he was getting as well, and obviously the ult is a little bit different, but Zekken played with confidence, he played decisively, and I think it's exactly what Sentinels needed.
And I think it was a big difference in those brawls, right? The big team fights there, 3-on-3s, 4-on-4s when Zekken's on the front. He was just crushing on that front. And I think to R's credit, I think on the other side, I think when he was finding rounds where Sentinels were walking into him, he could actually find picks with the operator, but more often than not, he was being forced into a retake save, or Sentinels were seeing him and pivoting away and not letting him play.
Yeah, 6 out of 20 of his kills was his ult, by the way. That's insane. Absolutely love that from Zekken, but I want to hear what Coach Pipson had to say ahead of Map 2.
Mika here once again, and I'm here right now with Pipson of Giant X. Now, that was a tough loss on the first map, but as I understand it, it's not exactly news for Giant X, and EMEA fans would know that map 1 loss is quite common, and usually this is because you guys need a little bit of time to iron things out. Sometimes it can be a comms issue that they get a little muddled, so I'm curious, was this the case in map 1 against Sentinels, or was it something else?
Oh yeah, it's definitely similar things to what happened to us in EMEA. So we talked right now. I hope that it will be the same like it was in EMEA, and second and third map will be much better than the first one was, and we are going to end up winning.
Well, good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
It's so nice to hear from Pipson on the global stage, but he is right. For those of you that don't know, GX have had this big issue all year, which is looking terrible on map 1, throwing 5v3s, 5v2s, 5v1 one time as well. And then map 2, they miraculously look amazing, and then they end up winning the series.
Is there like a real thing that changes, or is it just the map 2 glow up?
No, it's, I mean, you even heard it there from Pipson saying it's the same issues. They tend to over-communicate on map 1. They're very excited. They have too much energy, and there's no one sort of getting on top of saying, guys, calm down, relax, which is funny because we know Grubby doesn't talk much, so probably just the other four screaming over each other a little bit. So I think now they've tasted what the stage is like, they can relax a little bit, they're going on to their map pick, and I am a big fan of their Sunset. I would love to know why they changed their comp on Corrode as well, but I don't anticipate them changing that much on Sunset.
Yeah,
you don't need to.
Yeah, you want to keep them playing the breach and whatnot. I honestly think like part of it might just be that when you're coming in, and again, there is so much footage going against you and knowing there's going to be a lot of anti, like coming in with a different idea. I think a lot of teams will usually try to do this to just not be so readable coming into the event, but clearly Sentinels on their comfort zone of Corrode, that wasn't going to be a help for them.
And I'm curious to see, if there are any changes, since you mentioned that you want them to kind of keep it to their standard.
This is what I wanted to see.
The Neon, Breach, Sentinels are going to be running a bit of the same, and so a lot of this then goes to me around how are you going to layer some of that utility. We're going to see B main traps, we're going to see A main traps, particularly on the defensive side. I think this lends into some of that chaos into that you were talking about prior to the series starting, where this does kind of favor Giants a bit.
Yeah, it does indeed, but we're still talking about SEN at the end of the day, and if you look at it on the other side, this is almost best in slot. They're so comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And again, to me, my eyes just keep heading towards Zekin, because I think he plays such an active game on the Neon, obviously on the attack side too, but you have to be very worried for what he does in mid, especially on the defensive side. Giant X need to be able to shut him down on those walks to tiles or the boosts up just on that mid ledge on the right side.
Yeah, and I know Grubby didn't have the best start on map 1, but he is an absolute menace on the defense sometimes here. His paranoia timings are fantastic. He's not afraid to get aggressive as well. I'm sure Sen's going to know this, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to be able to abuse this as well, because Sen, Uber and Y on the verge of starting their champs run with a 2-0.
I'm sure Yinsu, they'll be very pleased with that. But, yeah, we're aware of the narrative of, GX struggling a little bit at the start of these series, although if you watch the Fnatic game, you wouldn't be aware of it. Sentinels, however, going to a map like Sunset, which, by the way, obviously great map for GX. It's probably their home map. They looked excellent here. We kind of thought Sentinels would too this year, right? In 2024, this was absolutely one of their go-tos. It looked fantastic, and it made its way back into the map pool when Toronto kicked off. And we did not see that same level from Sentinels here on Sunset, and since then, they've not really made it their own yet, I feel.
Yeah, they've been very mixed in terms of the results here. GX, however, have not been mixed. They've only lost this map twice, both times to Liquid,
right? Yeah.
And outside of that, they have 5 wins on it. This is absolutely their best look. We're getting Westside on that Cypher where he thrives right now on the B anchor. A lot of damage through onto Bang. Gonna need some support. Going to need a flood.
I think they know where Westside is right now. And look at this. They've inserted Zekin onto the site. The rest of Sentinels have actually pulled out. Zekin might have an opportunity here to really ruffle some feathers. But it all really remains to be seen on what the landscape looks like as this dark cover clears. He'll stay tucked in. Re-smoked to B main, and Cloud diligently is looking to clear this corner very carefully, but Zekin is not looking towards his left at all, just kind of hedges on the right side. However, Grabinho flattened it A, run over by Sentinels, who now can accelerate into the site and start to set up for a post-1.
Unfortunate that GX lose a player immediately after that. Was some nice awareness from Cloud to pick off Zekin, the initial first kill. Zelsis ready to flash, maybe to fight towards spawn, but no, Sen going to call that off.
Because of the one-way, likely.
He's just playing right now with that fault line towards Link when GX try to get back in here. They do have a good amount of breach util of their own to do so.
Zelsis still holding onto it. Veins starting to emerge on his forehead now. Patience, patience, and release. It's onto the site now. Ara the only player in, though, and it's staggering. The spacing of players has really thrown Sen for a loop. The narrates some sharp shooting. It's just not remotely enough. And in a 4v4 retake, GX looks sharp.
GX are really fantastic at playing around their breach utility on this map. This is still the map in the pool where breach is very much so relevant. It's the only map in the pool where breach actually has a above 50% win rate against non-breach comps. So really excellent calling there from John, I feel. Just activating that same early util on C that drew all the rotates on the bonus round that they converted.
Oh,
wow,
no
he's even going to
way.
catch this kill onto Aura.
It's free, man.
But then drawing the rotates, pivoting to B, but then after they're delayed by that aftershock, they turn around. All of those GX players who were drawn out, baited out, they collect the kills, pivot to C where they've left. Zelsis inserted deep. This was a really excellent round from Sen.
And obviously a decent time to make the fake plant play on B happen. Still the GX, maybe that's something that also has come up to them in VOD review, because it is something that Sen likes to mix in. Just a point of tension in this game where, for whatever reason, they are convinced that it's worthwhile committing on. And they underestimate their opponents. Big punish as a result. Cloud definitely a lot quieter in this map. Now needs to get the troops rallied as Pipson is going to dial in and see what needs to be fixed in this timeout.
What's made GX so effective on defense is their ability to call rounds where they fully disrupt the plans of the attackers. So far, that just hasn't happened.
No, they've been trying to gamble stack sides.
They've been trying to gamble on some of the eco rounds, and they've been trying to flood on the buy rounds. We saw that on the bonus. We just saw that on this round, too. They all tried to flood back C, right? And so far, that hasn't been effective. It's just resulted in John having free reign across the map to lead his team and execute the plans perfectly.
How safe is it, though, to be pushing off these sites as individuals or duos for this early info, for this disruptive potential? There's been no defensive pops, right? There's been no sort of very aggressive early round movements here for GX. In fact, they're not even working the map much for information passively.
At some point here, I would like to see them do something active towards mid. I
think we're going to get it
mix
now.
That in. And yeah, I do think they're going to do it here with this half buy that they've got going.
Now, there's no KJ turret set up to see this.
Oh, wow. So that's a recon paranoia with a stun from Aura into window. All of Sendo, they're stacked up towards this C side. Site is going to be totally free.
He's back.
Yeah, him teleporting up top while Zekken runs in so they can double face back Site, but it is not going to be held by a single GX player. It is indexed in that mid play.
Yep. I like the set play. It give a lot of map control over, allow to contain, but there's no pressure coming from C Long because there's KJ util that can obviously read it as it comes.
This round is as good as done. Nice shot from Zekken. On this side was already
he's back.
On
Zekken's
such
back.
Low HP.
Ara and Cloud don't have a lot to say about this round, I suspect. Just as likely to disappear in a puff of smoke. Set up inside Garage here, and once again, there will be a player late in the round for Sentinels trying to punish this. But no one's looking in Zelsa's direction, and yet Cloud whips on him. Pretty unconvincing stuff for GX there. Set play attempted, no result yielded.
Certainly not mad at the attempt, though. I want to see them go for plays like that.
Yeah, but how does that condition them now?
But a little insult to injury. Is that Celsius even at the end there with a kill and the death? Now has a lockdown for this buy round. They have the Hunter's Fury with the lockdown to put GX on an eco again.
GX have to play ahead of that lockdown potential. They still have an op to hand, I would think. At least the option to go for one.
Maybe if Cloud is one away from his Hunter's Fury, so that's the natural counter to the lockdown if he can get an orb somewhere. This time, Sen, they want to go very fast towards A. Teleport cross from Bang, but he's caught. He's stunned.
Okay, well, Sentinels conditioned to a little bit of a slower early round from GX and don't really see the mid pop from them in the previous one, so think they can still play in that fashion.
And there's a stronger A fight from GX. I do like to see that. But this is a good response from Sen. They have gone so quickly towards this C side. Can GX flood in to support West side now?
West side Tux gets the perfect drop, and Zekken is lit inside that cage. Too easy for the Cypher, and finally West side gets himself onto the board kill-wise. John, not the timing would have hoped for, I suspect. And now Narrate, unsuccessful in trying to crack the remainder of this C side open. Finally, Giant X get on the board on Haven.
Signs of life. I like how they played that round from start to finish. It's that A fight, very aggressive. Fault line comes through, recon into lobby. It was on a round where Sen wanted to go for an A fight of their own. They are completely caught off by that breach util. And then GX recognizing that there was that fast pivot to C coming. Westside gets all the way deep towards Plat. Gets the cages up, allows his teammates to flood back in. That's a perfect defensive round.
A good example of how that util perfectly facilitates.
And now look, they want to get aggro towards mid again. It's that play from before, the relay bolt, paranoia, and
Narrate takes the space back though. He's there in a second, Wyatt. Ara brought down. Just impales himself on his own sword by the looks of things, but there's that Hunter's Fury that comes off for GX, a big part of their early aggressive play. Zekken's got to get across the window, lucky to be alive, but could still be spammed down. Scorpino wants to push up outside of lobby. Chaotic early round, leaves Sentinels down to 2.
Yeah, Westside stayed fully committed out of garage, caught off Celsius, and now the neural theft would
buddy.
reveal these remaining 2 players. It's a 1v1. Oh, Zekken won that round looking very different A crucial pickup for Flickless. GX, they have to convert this.
They got all the info. John can't get anything done outside of the purview of GX. They know it all. Now, those thin walls may be his undoing. Flickless wants to step up. And John doesn't have the mechanics to answer. GX up to 2 rounds. Finally, we're starting to see some of their personality from EMEA's number 2.
Surge of energy coming into this team after an absolute drought. This is the play they ran on that prior half buy. This time SEN were in the region they needed them to be towards window. It's that Hunter's Fury that Cloud throws in to get the trade when Aura goes down. Hits Bang as well, brings him to half HP. And they're pushing out of A, and they're pushing out of Garage. That was that play exactly as intended.
And Aura considered,
as they drew it up.
Aura considered picking up an op a couple rounds ago. Opted for the rifle. The GX haven't really needed to play the passive line hold game. They want to brawl and do it again.
They want to fight for this A lobby. Very hard. Grabino gets the first. He gets the second even.
This is where that came from. Zelsis was cut down in the corner there, and Bang is revealed. Able to take 2. That's all he's going to get. That's the best he can do to give John a shot in this round. The money starting to dwindle. It's getting a little low for Sentinels, as this would be their 3rd consecutive round they've given away to the defenders.
GX, they are a team that can just suddenly capture the pace of the game and take it over. Feels like these past 3 rounds have been faster than an entire buy round from the beginning of this first half.
John here has to keep it simple. Not surging out in that long direction. Has to make a correction here for Cloud, and he's in mid-air. IGL seals up another round for GX. And like he said after the first, 5 more to go. Well, they've managed to cut this lead in half.
5 also the number of ults that Sentinels have coming into this next 5. But hell, they've had a lot of them for a while. They haven't even had a chance to use them because GX are just sending it on them.
You see Bang is trying to find a way to play in response to this raw aggression from GX. And it kind of amounts to him cowering in a corner while his team gets mowed down, and him with trigger discipline able to take 2 and then not convert any further. It's got to be a timeout here for Sentinels.
Yeah, it was a cool position to get into, but then with Sen continuing to fight in lobby and just getting shot down by Grabino playing down there in short.
We are getting what we asked for, though. We wanted to see GX disrupt Sentinels in these early rounds.
Yeah,
push up, make it hard for Sentinels to work the map passively, and then make a pivot into a site that they could divine was being less populated by defenders. They just have to keep this up now. This is good, as Sentinels are the ones that have to pivot now. They need to start expecting these early round push-ups. This is likely to slow them down, which could also work for GX if they realize they've done this level of conditioning to the attack side.
Yeah, I mean, what, 5 minutes ago, we felt like this was about to be a Sen walk in the park. They were up 6-0. Every round was so effortless.
Yeah, let me tell you.
And now they're forcing the timeout.
Cloud is reaching up to put the collar on Sentinels right now, so they better have their wits about them. 5 ults, though. It's a good number. We'll see a round here or there, 1 out purely on strength of those alone, so we'll see.
And now it looks like GX, they have a play to go down long. There's going to be a recon going in towards that C-side of spawn. Fault line, relay bolt, Aura running it down, and John is just stuffed into that corner on account of the util. You know, they know where he's going to have to reposition to.
Sentinel's obviously planning a pivot based on where that spike's been left. Zelsis needs to stay alive for this lockdown to be a factor in this round, but he has to know Westside is playing close. Wins it out. That is an important correction. A flick to the head. That downs the enemy Cypher. Now does A-side starting to crumble. Crack for Grabino. Emerges with 2 very important kills. That is going to put GX to the shot in this round. A real one now as Aura gets close, wants to challenge it. Bang, cannot keep up. It's too pacey. Headshot, no dink onto Aura. Doesn't slow him down for a second. Slides in. And the overdrive will claim the final frag.
The second wanted to use his own ultimate, but while activating, is just rushed down by Aura.
Yeah, he's lost it now.
Who opens the round, closes it. It starts off another early round active play. This is just what makes GX GX and such a cool team to watch. John is isolated on that C-side of the map. He goes down. And then, of course, Sen feel like we just need to accelerate into A. Also, massive credit to Grabino, by the way. That 2-piece he had was so sick. And without that, the round is lost.
And it's crazy how frequently he is doing that. even in these like eco scenarios.
Yeah, again, and started so slow, map 1, Grabinho, but he didn't let it get to his head. He has stepped up both Haven and Sunset.
Some part of the map, Ara has been taking liberties for the last 4 rounds in a row, and it's no coincidence that those have been defense side wins. SEN have also lost a little bit in that ult battery now. Still have a lockdown. They just have them now to get to the stage in the round where they can slowly work the map and set it up, and this won't spot Ara out. Honestly, this is an insane spot to be set up.
This is crazy. There are 2 Sentinels players right now.
John's going to die to this. Surely. John, please! Oh, he just doesn't know what hit him. Narrate there under extreme pressure as well. Zekin trying to respond, but if Ara gets out of here, this is masterful.
He can just leave. Look at the A site, by the way. There are 2 SEN players in there. How has that happened? GX were fully expecting a C-side hit.
But they're not going to get to cross for free. They've got to get past Cloud, and then final boss Ara is waiting there towards mid-window.
This is so bizarre. I mean, look at SEN on the map.
Time short, bang, deep into spawn. Ends up being a 1-for-1.
They still need to get the spike to his side.
They're going to be Ara, they can't get past him. Zekin slides in, and he takes matters into his own hands. Spike recovered, but a pivot, a wise one, across the map will send them to C, a site they've got little info, but can sort of guess that it's bereft of defenders. Zekin has to stick this, no choice.
Caught by the trip, doesn't matter. Going to get the spike down. Now, how do Sentinels position themselves here? Lockdown thrown on default. Yeah, GX, they really don't have an opportunity to break it, and Zekin wants to take the space that it's creating.
Doesn't want to over-push there. Cam dealt with. Delsus also has to play a little bit slower.
Yeah, now GX, they have to think someone could be positioned in Garage right now, surely.
They're not checking for it. No one's... Okay, West Side is watching it. Will you see the barrel? Yes, wins it out. That leaves Zekin now. Oh, God, you hate to be in this spot. Has to play long in the post plant. Tough to really spam this down. Grabinho on spike, and Zekin's not 100% sure exactly where he is. He's going to have to spray through, and he gets there. What a crucial round. The Red Bull clutch gets the Vibe Merchants on his feet, and much of Sen City in the crowd.
You've got to be joking. No one from GX can connect the shot, and Zekin sprays them all down.
Jeez, they needed to come up for air though, didn't they?
I mean, that's how this run of rounds for GX ends. They're in a 3-on-1. They got the lockdown out.
Well, they needed a bit of magic, Wyatt. A drought of it. Ever since round number 6.
Kaplan made a gesture like, I'll take it. Not how I wanted it to happen, but I'll take it.
Yeah, well, this can just be credited to the individual. That's just fine for SEN fans. Now, they're still in that Hunter's Fury. Also, if they ever get to a post plant, which has been tough, they'll have a pit. GX uncharacteristically played this round slow to start with. Bang, same sort of bait play. Onside Paranoia, but Ara's there to check if it's the real deal.
That immediate bolt thrown down so no one can try to trade. Needs to get out of the way of the drone, but is a little bit too slow.
Viper's peak here, thrown inside B. Grabinho now going to be decayed down if he lingers for too long. And Senna just headed elsewhere, leaving John behind to kick this pit up. But eventually he's going to leave too.
West side on the angle. No, Celsius is coming. He saw the barrel, and now he can use that cage to get back towards Plat. Wants to reposition, but a little bit too early. No one there to help.
Really exposed himself. Really showed too much leg there, Wyatt. And Zekin Franklin was waiting for a drift at the back of the site. The cyber cage wasn't enough to obscure him.
John, low HP, Narrate wins that out.
Foot off the gas so far for Giant X. Serving this round over to Sentinels. And Cloud, the IGL needs to get into the side in a 1v3, already down to 70. It's always good for one. That much we've learned today. But digging this high-low setup out is all but impossible. A late half recovery for Sentinels. They bounce back, but it takes this man on your screen to get them there. Just a moment of magic from the youngster. Zekin saves their bacon. Whew, in that round 11. Crazy stuff so far and much to talk about, I'm sure, heading into the half. Let's take a quick break and we'll be back with more of this decided map after this.
One enemy remaining.
Scanning ahead.
Good recovery on the hand, baby. Good recovery.
Top of the second half of Haven about to come at you, folks. It is Giant X, the number 2 seed out of EMEA, versus Sentinels, who frankly limped into Champions this year. A lot to prove after a 4th place finish last year and then a pretty significant roster change. That saw the infusion of some younger blood in the roster. Narrate had to hit the ground running with this team. Now, every round that GX win on that defense side, it's paired with an aggressive pop, a moment of unexpected volatility from GX, and Ara is able to get in there and catch Sentinels unaware. 4 rounds on the defense side is going to have to be enough.
And that round 11 should have been a win for GX. That should have been their 5th on the board. They brought it down to that 3 versus 1 that Zekin won in miraculous fashion. And you can kind of see on the Coinbase Econ report that his report quite good on account of he's getting a lot of kills. He's doing a hell of a lot of damage.
That head-to-head against Cloud is a pretty good result, accounting for many of Cloud's 9 deaths over that first half. Someone who was frankly taking the game over on Sunset. It was like 20 and 5 at some point. It was pretty absurd. You can see the spend to damage ratio is what gives Zekin such a high econ value. And again, it's tough not to point him as the protagonist on this map. 13 kills, 7 deaths after that first half, and a disgusting, what was it, 1v3, 1v4 moment for that round 11. Keeps them with their head above the surging tides.
And now SEN, they started this map winning the pistol and then winning the bonus. That gave them that early 4-round lead and all of the momentum. GX goes without saying, but they desperately need to win this second half pistol to stay in the game.
Less of a gamble stack approach here for SEN and more just distributed heavily in that A direction. The wrinkling here is actually going to be fruitful. So they've got confirmation of at least one player pretty far into A long, and Ara has already set foot over the threshold of A.
Bang just ready to throw out that paranoia off some sound cues. Util exchanged, but no gunfire. Everyone's slowed down. Everyone's stalled out.
There's a lot of Util drawn out of the defenders, Wyatt. Narrate here forced to fight. Westside will get away and avoid the shock dart reprisal. All of A main is populated by attackers.
SEN at the moment have not much reason to leave, though, at this noise cut, at this time. Now they do. It's that B side that could be open. Garage could be open, and GX have just picked the absolute perfect moment to get in. Exactly as SEN give it up.
Or SEN pick the worst moment to give it up. It really depends how you want to look at it.
Glass half full, half empty. Yep. Depends on your point of view.
Well, I think either way it's about to be spilled over the cobblestones, Wyatt.
And now Flickless does have that fault line back, so he can throw that out towards main, stall out the SEN retake.
Narrate can't really drop out of heaven here. He is too low. And SEN having to play the retake after making the right call on the side. It's not too bad. Ara with the stopping power, a back truck. Deals with Zekin at least, but Zelsis is there. Narrate here from up on high. Judging the peasants, he will drop down onto the box, but makes some noise. He gets a bit of damage on Flickless, but not enough to write home about. And it's John Grabinho. 32 points of health left for the Moroccan mastermind. He needs to step up. He sees the shoulder of the Omen, but Grabinho doesn't give him enough to work with. GX, get that pistol locked up.
They needed it with absolute desperation, and they got it. Perfect timing window to get into the site. SEN were staying on A, they were staying on A, they were staying on A, and after enough noise cut, had to be concerned about that B side. The moment they leave, it's taken by GX. Flickless posts up in hell with that standard breach util, that line with the, where you can throw the fault line into spawn. And by the time SEN get in, numbers are depleted, and all Grabinho had to do was even just waste time, and they would have won that out in the 1v1 clutch. Or, of course, with the Outlaw. Always has it that second round.
And now, of course, we gamble stack. It looks like Westside and Cloud just down to Ghosts here to facilitate for their duelist. Be equipped as well as possible in the early stages. The double swing potential here, as Narrate shows